Hello and welcome to an extra special episode of Off the Shelf because I am a dinosaur today. It's definitely not because these are my pajamas and I just rolled out of bed. It is in fact very fitting to the manga we're talking about today, uh, Juana and the Dragonewts Seven Kindgoms. And I really love this manga. Like, the art style is amazing. First of all, as you can tell, and the story is like incredibly interesting. I love it. But so let's jump right in today. I'm using Manga Rock just to show the pages a little bit more clearly. To prove this, what did come off my shelf, I have the actual book right here. Plus, there's some extra stuff in there that the online version doesn't show. So, the story and art are by Kiyohisa Tanaka, and I know for a fact he does actually have a Twitter, because it's in the back of the book, so I'll point that out when we get to it. So, well, let's go then. So, like, first, just look at this art. Like, it's amazing. I love it. It's such like a stylistic, like the way her hair is drawn. You get used to that. Like, look at this piece. Look at those dinosaurs. Look at her in her little space helmet. It's amazing. I love it. It's so good. Alright. But we start off with our main character. His name is Nid, N-I-D, but it's technically a spoiler. But no, it's fine. And he's basically talking about how they tend to use a lot of Spanish words in this, actually. And he's talking about the Mirandes, which means like morning, like the day and night kind of mourning, not the sad one. And he's talking about humans, though, and how they left technology and knowledge behind, but they faded out from common memory. There we go. Now I've got my cursor, I can point things out. But they faded out from common memory. However, he finds Juana. She's there. I mean, look at that art. It's so good. Look at her big hair. Look at that fog effect. Look at her saying "buh." Look at his scary little face. His teeth. It's so good. I love it. But then she falls over. It's great. I love it. Ignore that. And so it takes us back a little bit. He's finding stuff, and he's explaining how basically he's a scavenger who he looks for ancient artifacts from the humans or the Mirandes, and he sells them or does whatever. Oh, they're there. He scavenges artifacts and sells them to dealers. Like, look at that fucking... Look at that dang old art right there. Look at these god shafts. God beams. Oh, right. Sorry, I was getting caught up reading it again. Anyway, he finds a big ol' egg, and out of it pops Juana, which, as we know, is pretty whack, because people don't usually pop out of eggs, not all the time at least. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe we're all egg boys. Who's really gonna say what an egg means? Anyway, anyway, so it just looks at him, and it starts speaking Spanish, which is what we know it's Spanish, but he doesn't, because he doesn't understand it. And she actually ends up calling him this most of the time, conejo. It basically just means rabbit, because he has these like spiky things in the back of his head, like they're rabbit ears, you know. But he puts her in his big old hoodie. It's really cute. Look at, I just can't get over how well he draws her big hair. Like, it's amazing. I love it. It's so good. Oh, I highly encourage you guys to get to his Twitter. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it now. Find it in the back of the book here. There you go. That's his Twitter handle, right there. That probably took a lot longer than I wanted, but you know, that's show business for you. Anyway, so he's got her in this little comforter, looks really cute, and he stuffs her in his backpack, and we get to see our first look at all the different sorts of dinosaurs in this world. And once again, his art gets to be shown off. And in this world, herbivores see themselves as, you know, above the carnivores, because the carnivores used to eat the herbivores' ancestors. They don't do that anymore, because as he says, there's plenty of food for everybody. And so he goes back to his shop, and there's, oh my, I forgot this thing, in the very front of Volume 1, there's a little vignette about the dinosaurs, or the Gardunas, where the character we're about to see in a moment, this guy, Zidane, he explains that the tail is a private part of their anatomy to be kept covered, and for a long time they've been taught that their tails symbolize base animal nature, you know, that stuff. But Zidane says that he subscribes to the theory that this was instigated by a male whose tail was considered to be so undesirable that he had difficulty attracting a girlfriend. So it's good. And then it also says that current fashion says that the horns are the most attractive feature. There's a little extra Gardunas trivia for you. And anyway, so she just pops out of the bag and roars at him, which is great. I love it. It's so good. I just love this art. I can't stop gushing about it. It was well worth that like 3 minutes of silence I just had, just to show this this hecking good art. But Nid is like, yo, what is this? And since Zidane's a big nerd, he tells him that it's a Mirnandus. And then there she says conejo again. And he's pretending to understand what she says, but he doesn't know. But Zidane happens to have this book that has information on the humans. You get a little picture of her holding the book. I love it. And Zidane says that Nid is, you know, it's his responsibility to take care of her. And then we get her we get her sort of standard outfit that she wears for most of this series so far. There's only like 3 volumes out right now. I highly recommend this book. Obviously, it's on the shelf, and I hope you guys go out and buy this and support the artist. You know, I'm using the online version just to show you guys the stuff, but I have 1 and 2 right here. I haven't gotten a chance to go out and buy the 3rd one yet, but we get her saying that she likes it. You know, she gives a little thumbs up, little the cheeks. It's great. And oh, sorry. Oh my gosh. Ugh. So they realize they have trouble. They have trouble communicating. So she tries to use body language, and so he's like waving around. She just loves it. She loves it. Oh, and he also draws teeth really well, which is kind of worrying, because, you know, it's sort of a joke on the internet that you can tell if someone's a vor artist by how well they draw mouths. But yo, it's fine. Like, this art is really good. I like it. Mostly I just love her hair, honestly. It's so big. It's really cool. Oh. Still in my eye, sorry. There we go. So he says his name is Nid. She says Nyed. And she says Juana. Zoom. Look at this smile. Look at that little scamp. I love it. She gives a little nod. Like, this picture alone should be enough to get you to read this series. It's great. It's so good. And then she says she's hungry. Well, she doesn't say it, but he realizes. And he shows that he has a garden. Because I don't remember if it's all carnivores now, or just him at least, but I think most carnivores have taken to be just being vegetarians now, just to sort of get away from that, you know, carnivore thing they do, where they eat people. And he's having trouble reading the human book. She offers him a fruit. She doesn't like it. She basically says it's tasteless. She's trying to rub her tongue. Here's where he finds out that... Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm really sorry about the yawning. I definitely didn't wake up about half an hour ago. And he sees that they're in fact live born with this wonderful little graphic here. It's great. But she popped out of an egg. And therein lies the sort of overarching mystery in this series. You know, like, why was Juana in an egg? Why is she like a human? Where did she come from? It's like weird. So he's like, what are you? Then that's the end of chapter 1. I'm pretty sure there's a... I usually just want to do just chapter 1 to give you a little nugget of a taste. But I think there was something in chapter 2 I wanted to show you real quick. Yeah. So, let me just move this over here so I can find it with no spoilers. So basically the problem they run into is they need to be able to, like, have Juana run around without anybody noticing that she's a dang old human. So Nid has this tailor friend who he gets to make a little costume for her. So here we have Juana in her little astronaut suit. It's great. It's great. She's got her little helmet, big pants. She's like, yeah, this is great. Love it. It's awesome. So anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to show you guys. Like, that's that's the series for the most part. Well, it's a little nugget of the series. Again, I encourage you guys to check out Kiyohisa Tanaka's Twitter. Give him some love. Check out his book. Give that some love. Set a nice little picture here. There, that's the full version of the cover. That's great. I just love how, like, look at that blue. It's not just blue, it's like 3 different blues and some green and purple. It's great, I love it. So there you have it. There's Off the Shelf episode 2, you know. It's good stuff. You know, dino, be a dino today in everything you do. I guess. There's no real lesson here. The lesson here is don't pop out of an egg. Anyway, that's it. Goodbye.